Hello guys and welcome to another episode of our real life rescue series, where so far we have been to England with Ipswich, to Germany with Bayer Leverkusen, Italy with Monza. So today we are heading to Spain for our next challenge. On the Monza challenge video, I had a comment from a viewer asking me to attempt this challenge with Las Palmas, as they should be performing better than they have this season, with some good young talent, the likes of Alberto Malero, Mika Marmo and Fabio Silva on loan. They should be performing higher than they have this season, currently finding themselves in the relegation zone. What I personally love about this squad is the amount of random players that they've built together, with the likes of Scotland internationals Ollie McBurney and Scott McKenna, former Everton forward Sandro Ramirez, and maybe the biggest name of all, once of Manchester United, Adnan Januzaj. Man, what a career this kid could have had in another life. But today's challenge may be the hardest so far, as I'm only giving myself 3 match days to try and keep Las Palmas in the top flight. With the gap to 17th place, Alaves just 3 points, it is just a 1-game swing that could see us jump out of the relegation zone. However, with a worse head-to-head record, we will need to better the points tally of Alaves to keep ourselves up. So for me, this is one of the most exciting challenges we've attempted so far in this series, with a limited number of games to turn things around. So let's just jump straight into our first of those 3 games as we travel to the Ramon Sanchez Pizjuan to take on a struggling Sevilla side, whilst Alaves themselves host Valencia at home. Vamos, Las Palmas. Alright then, here we are off and underway in the first game of today's episode, and I have to say, Las Palmas are a great team to use for an RTG. They've got some great young players, the likes of Malero, and of course Fabio Silva's on loan, but Mika Marmo as well. That's good defending by us there. So some great young talents and some older heads as well that you would have to shift on to kind of rebuild the team. But yeah, the very, very decent squad that they've got. And as I mentioned in the intro, some really interesting players as well, the likes of McBurney, Scott McKenna. So definitely an interesting one for an RTG. As our opponents, Sevilla, really struggled over the last few years, and again sat just above the relegation zone this season in La Liga. So going to be a pretty interesting first game here, and I would say that we would probably have to win all 3 of our games if we are to stay up. That would take us to 41 points. Sandro, hang on. Sandro into Campagna, great chance and a big save by Nyland. Yeah, that would take us to 41 points. So we need Alaves to slip up in 2 of their remaining 3 to give us any chance of staying up. Again, like in the other challenges, I'm using the real-life team selections that were made in real life. So not necessarily our strongest team on paper in career mode, but the one that was selected for this fixture in real life. So it's been a decent start here. We've had an early chance, which Nyland denied us with, but we're going to have to defend well if we are to keep this Sevilla team out. Chances at both ends. Ball into PK. Brilliant young Spanish talent, and now Isaac Romero of the same sort of quality, and that's nicely worked. And PK with the chance, laid off to Suso, back inside to PK, big save. And now the corner for Sevilla goes short, now swung into the middle, keeper's come and gathers. Now can we break? Is there a chance to break? Mika, one of those great young talents in this Las Palmas squad, and still Mika going all the way. Mika Marmo denied and off Goodell and cleared off the line in what was a pretty crazy run from Marmo. And now here's Malero and Sandro, and Stefan lets fly, and again it's Nyland with the save. Well, that's going to do it for the first half. Not a terrible half, and I'd say we probably had the better of it. Sevilla causing us a few issues going forward, mainly the youngster PK, but overall we've actually defended pretty well. Best chance of the half probably came to Mika, but he's not really the player you'd want it to fall to. Need to get Malero involved a little bit more, as he is the man that can probably unlock this defence. As there he is finding Sandro, and Sandro will let fly straight down the throat of Nyland. Suso, ball into Isaac Romero, stand him up. There's PK back to Isaac Romero. What a save that is. Not long to play here. Could do with a late winner. Sugo finds Malero. Is he onside? Flag stays down. There's Ollie McBurney. Has to score and doesn't. What a sitter from the Scot. And that might just about do it. What a chance for McBurney. And he hits it straight at the keeper. And I do think that is probably going to do it as well. Huge chance for the Scotland international to win us the game, but he couldn't take it. Just had to pick out a corner, either the near post or the far, and instead he smashed it straight down the throat of the Sevilla keeper, Nyland. So it's a point on the board. It's better than what Las Palmas managed in real life, but is it going to be enough to keep us in the top flight? Well, we played before Alaves, so we'll head back to the menu to find out how they get on, where we really need them to lose that match. Well, as we get back to the menus, just simming through to our next game against Leganes, let's find out how Alaves got on, and they're still on 35 points. So they must have lost. They played the day after us, and yes, they lost by 2-1. So that's a really important result for us. So jumping into our next game, we actually take on Leganes at home, who are a point above us in 18th place. Of course, Alaves 2 points ahead of us, so I'm glad that they did lose that fixture. They are away at Valladolid, who are rock bottom and already miles adrift of safety and relegated back down to the Segunda division. So every chance that both of us to get a victory here, and we take it down to the final day. Vamos, Las Palmas. Here we go then, our second game of the challenge, and we really desperately need to get our first win. I've had to make one change to the real life. Hang on, starting lineup. Malero. Oh, it wasn't Malero, it was Enzo who fires it wide. Scott McKenna started the fixture in real life, but in the save he's still injured. So I've had to keep Suarez, the central defender, in the lineup. But to be honest, it doesn't make too much of a difference. Promising start here from Las Palmas, but we haven't really looked like having much of a goal threat in this save so far. So we need to find some goals from somewhere if we are to win this fixture. Oh, nice football by Leganes. Come on. Oh, it's a brilliant build-up. Garcia races away and has the finish as well. Leganes take the lead in the opening 10 minutes, and this is not what I was expecting on match day 37. What a goal from Leganes, by the way. That passing football was absolutely fantastic. We just couldn't get near them. And of course, they, like ourselves, still have a chance of keeping themselves in the division, as that's beautifully worked, and straight from kickoff Enzo fires in the equaliser. We get ourselves back on level terms, but a draw doesn't really do anything for either of these sides. We both need the win. Free kick for Leganes here, long way out, but Oscar is going to try his luck. Oh my goodness. Well, that goal there might just have relegated us. What a hit from Oscar. And with 25 to play, we're a goal down. Well, we fought back after that setback in the first half. Can we do it again? McBurney into Munoz. Round the corner. Campagna off the bench. 2 apiece. Come on. This is not over yet. Campagna gets us straight back into it. 19 minutes to play. Is there to be a winner? Well defended. Oh, but he's lost it. Ball swung in. Mika has to get there. Doesn't. Oh my goodness. How on earth has that stayed out? And that is going to do it. A cracker here in Gran Canaria. But it might not be enough. That might be us down. As Diego Martinez looks on, we'll have to wait and see whether that goal from Campagna is enough to take it down to the final day, or whether that is us down to the Segunda division. Well, as we get back to the menu, let's find out if it was enough. If Alaves have won, we are down due to the head-to-head ruling. We're still 19th, but it's a point for Alaves, so that does mean it will go down to the final day. They drew 1 apiece, so that does mean that if we win, we'd go up to 37, but then I guess Leganes are still in it as well. Leganes play Valladolid on the final day, If we both win, then it doesn't matter. We'd still go down because we can't catch Alaves and neither can Leganes. Yeah, so this is the state of play. We have to win and hope that Leganes lose to Valladolid, or maybe even a point would do it, whilst Alaves are at home to Osasuna. So there's still quite a lot riding on it. All we can do is try and get the win and do our job and hope that Alaves and Leganes both lose. Let's just dive straight in. Vamos, Las Palmas. Here we go then, we are underway here at the RCDE Arena, and I think Espanyol are safe, although I'm not 100% sure. I think they are, because we definitely cannot catch them, and I don't think Leganes can either, so it will be two of Leganes, ourselves and Alaves that go down. So I'm hoping it's obviously us that stay up, but we've got a lot of work to do. Need to get the win and hope that the other two lose. So, oh, it's a great tackle. McBurney can't quite get there. Tackle. And now here's Malero playing centrally, as this fixture hasn't been played at the time of recording. I've picked the lineups as I wanted them, as I don't have any real life lineups to replicate. As that's a nice build up and a big save by the Espanyol keeper. But yeah, I couldn't replicate the lineups because it's not been played, so I've just picked the team that I wanted to go for, and that does include starting Malero centrally in behind Ollie McBurney. As Sandro, nicely worked. Oh, it's a great tackle to deny him. Oh, ball slid through. What a ball. Danger. Big save by Horkas. First time he's called into action. I've stuck with him today, despite Jasper Cillessen being, I think, 9 ratings higher, but he's done well in the 2 games that we've played so far, so I've stuck with him. Enzo to Januzaj, Campagna. Again, we'll just work our way forward. Nicely worked. Campagna, Malero. Here's the chance. Malero off the post. Still Malero. Oh, how on earth has that stayed out? Malero can't believe it, and neither can I. Sandro will go short from the corner again. Malero, he's looking more likely at the moment. Malero skips round the challenge and then bends it wide. Another big chance for our star player, and this time he couldn't hit the target. Well, McBurney's not been cutting it for me, and Fabio Silva, we've not had the chance to use him yet in the save, but he's on up top for the final 28 minutes. Can the Wolves loanee be the hero here in Gran Canaria and keep us in the division? I'm certainly hoping so. And here we come. Januzaj through to Malero. Off goes Fabio Silva. Is this his moment? Fabio Silva! What an introduction! As the young Portuguese striker nets for Las Palmas. We don't know if it's going to be enough, but we have to do our job here and win and hope for slip-ups elsewhere. Fabio Silva, minutes after entering the pitch, drills in the opening goal, and that is what we've been missing up top. Well, now we've got that goal, I feel even more nervous because we've got something to hold on to. And I tell you what, I'd love a second. And Malero looks for Fabio Silva again. Surely not. Fabio Silva. Still Fabio Silva denied what would have been the dagger, but what an introduction he has had. And maybe had he been fit all season, we might be staying up, as Mika lets fly and it's blocked and cleared by Espanyol, but we're looking more likely to score the second at the moment. Ball inside to Lozano, back to Luis Mia. Skips away from Rosado and Romero, and Mia again swings the ball in. Not headed away completely, and thankfully the shot drifts wide by Alex Crow. Well, I think that is going to do it, as we should just be able to see this out, keeping hold of the ball. 2 minutes of added time, but that is not going to matter. Hoof it long, get it away from our goal. And where is that whistle? There it is. Well, we've done our job, but we've no idea what the scores are for Deportivo Alaves or for CD Leganes. Not much celebration from the players, but with EA Sports, that never really means too much. We've got some strange camera angles of the centre circle. And there are a few subdued looks as Espanyol celebrate, but they already knew they were safe. So I guess we'll just go and find out what the results were. So I'm not going to see those scores as they flash up. So let's find out, was it enough to keep Las Palmas in the top flight? No, Leganes. Oh, Leganes won on the final day and they leapfrog us into 17th place. I mean, they were playing rock bottom and already relegated via the lid. They beat them by 2-0 as Alaves was smashed 4-1 at home by Osasuna. But that draw against Leganes is the one on match day 37. If we'd won there, we of course would have been ahead of them and we would have been safe. Man, that is gutting that we missed out, especially with the late drama in that game. Fabio Silva coming off the bench to win it for Las Palmas, but it is not enough to save us from relegation. Well, in real life, with one match day remaining, Las Palmas find themselves 7 points adrift from safety and already relegated. So in such a short period of time, to take it down to the final day and end up with just a 1 point gap to safety. We've done a decent job. I said when we started this challenge, it was possibly my hardest of the lot, as we knew that we only had 3 games to turn things around. Unfortunately, we only managed 1 win in those 3 games, with 2 draws in our opening 2 games, and a win in either of those would have been enough to keep Las Palmas in the division. But as I said, they are a great team for an RTG, some great young talent, and a lot of older heads that need clearing out as well. So definitely one that I would recommend using if you guys are looking for an RTG in Spain and looking to compete with the likes of Madrid, Barcelona and Atleti long term. But for us, that is going to do it. Just a short-term challenge today and a bit of a shorter video. Unfortunately, unlike in the Monza video, we couldn't turn things around and keep them in the top flight. But I have to say, in just such a short period of time, I did really enjoy this challenge. But guys, that will do it for today's video. I hope you did enjoy, and I will catch you in the next episode of the Real Life Rescues very soon. Take care, guys, and peace.